Yes, I'm Rachel Searles, and I'm the County Director for University of California Cooperative Extension in Los Angeles County. Well, until the 1950s, Los Angeles County was the top agricultural county in the U.S. from approximately 1910 to 1950, 1955. This was it. It was bigger than Iowa or any of those big Midwestern states in terms of its agriculture. We grew everything here, and it sort of dates back to the founding of Los Angeles when people first came and looked at Los Angeles as a potential site for a mission. They saw that it had great soil, they saw that things grew well here, and they thought, aha, a perfect place for farming. So that's how it started. First there was wheat grown, and there were a lot of cattle raised. And then things really got rolling around the time of the gold rush, because people started migrating to California and the demand increased for all kinds of agricultural products, beef and everything else. The transcontinental railroads brought additional people to Southern California, and particularly the Los Angeles area, and it became a boom town. Many people moving here, a lot of money for foodstuffs that were produced. So the small agricultural village, basically, of Los Angeles started to become an agricultural powerhouse. Farmers started growing different things. They started experimenting with citrus, for example. And by the early 20th century, the whole LA basin in Southern California were full of citrus and other fruit trees. People wanted to move to Los Angeles for all kinds of reasons. In the first half of the 20th century, Los Angeles was sort of touted as a health mecca and, you know, paradise. And if you moved to Los Angeles, one of the things you could become was a farmer. Our Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce, one of the first things it did was to promote farming. They had all kinds of services and advice available for the people who came here to become farmers. And what you saw a lot of in the first half of the 20th century were what they called at the time small farm homes. They subdivided a lot of parts of Los Angeles County outside of the city boundaries, particularly, to be small farms that were from a ½ acre to 3 acres in size. These were very popular, and the idea was that people could make a go of it as farmers on these very small properties where they lived. I found a report from the 1950s that showed that there were about 10,000 of these small farm homes around the county at that time. And I think Richland Farms was one of these communities, and it's about the only one left. So it's very unique. It showcases a trend in our society from, you know, the early 20th century that continues today in Compton. I suspect it's about zoning. I understand that there was a stipulation made when this land was deeded to Compton that it remain at least partially for agricultural purposes. So because of that legal protection, likely that's why it exists when other places like it in LA County are long since gone. I absolutely think there's more of an emphasis throughout LA County, Southern California, and in fact the US in terms of people being interested in growing their own food. There's been a national survey done by the National Gardening Association, a Gallup survey, that showed a 19% increase in home vegetable gardening just over the past year, I think between 2008 and 2009. So I guess the question is why? Why are people suddenly so interested in growing their own food or in locally grown food? And I think there's a couple different components to it. First, it's the economy. It's all about the economy. People are anxious about their financial well-being, and gardening and producing your own food are something that make you feel very secure. If you can grow your own food, you feel like, okay, I can make it, I can exist. And secondly, people are becoming so much more aware of carbon footprint issues, of nutrition-related issues as far as food goes, and locally grown food, and better yet, food you grow yourself, just offers all kinds of advantages from those perspectives.